All right. Just wanted to get some information out to the parents. Your son has all this information. I just want to make sure that you would know as well, in case you're not getting the information from them. I know what it's like getting from a teenager. First, I appreciate you all, getting everything in the waiver forms, things like that. It's going to be an exciting week. Every player has their room list and know who they're rooming with. If you want to take snacks down, go to the store there, things like that. Talk to the parents, the other parents in the room. Maybe combine, do whatever. Whatever you want is convenient for you. But understand each room does have a kitchenette in it, a refrigerator, microwave, stove, oven. It's got all that. A lot of players, cook breakfast, cook lunch, whatever. They're good at that. They enjoy that. So you do what you think is best. Just make sure your son either has that aspect or has meal money, things like that, because players are responsible for their meals. There might be situations where the bullpen might do certain things, for meals and different, whatever. That'll be posted on your mind, so but make sure they have the meal prep with modern technology. That's not that hard. But yeah, as far as the rooms go, check-in time, if you've seen on there, it's 4:00. Don't show up at 4:00. Actually, don't worry about it at all. I'll put on your mind when the players' rooms are ready. And that way you don't have to stress sitting there, because not one year has the rooms ever been ready on time, and you'll just come and sit around. And one year was a couple hours late. Alleviate stress, I don't have players or parents be there at a certain time. As soon as I have the rooms ready, I'll post on their mind. I'll post my room number so your son can come to my room, get his key, then get his stuff in there, things like that. A lot less stress in that manner, and that's kind of what we want to do. Any other rules or things like that will be posted on their mind. Especially curfews every night. We'll have a different curfew depending on what time the games are the next day. It could we have what time to be at the hotel be posted, and also what time to be in your room. And you have to be, your son has to be where they're supposed to be at what time. Those are part of the rules. Our rules are set in stone. And we have a standard as far as the Jackson Ironman baseball program. We act a certain way, and nobody's going to deviate from that or embarrass the program, myself, their parents, anything like that. We don't deal with that, and if we have to, it'll be very harsh. But we have it. We never had to worry about that, and I don't expect it anymore. This year as well. We got some great kids raised by great people, and I appreciate that. But one of our rules we have is Rule 4. If your son goes somewhere with his teammates or things like that, he's not walking by himself anywhere. He actually has to have 3 teammates with him. We call it the Rule 4. Just alleviates any concern I have. We're going to a strange city, things like that. Things happen. So we keep players together. Alleviates that stress, and something might happen. I'm a parent as well. I know how you feel, how we worry about our kids, so that helps it out. Player goes to the pier, goes out to dinner and things like that, and they're going with their buddies. They need to have 3 other teammates with them, things like that. So that's just the standard rule we come up with years ago. Only thing we really expect for parents, you have some freedom. You want to take your son out to dinner, great. You don't have to ask permission or anything like that. I want you to enjoy the time with your son as well. Basically, I just from parents need to get the games on time. We have a certain time. We have to get to the field, to the games. That'll be posted every evening. Just make sure we're on time, making this week go efficiently. But also, if your son can ride with another parent, if you work that out with them, that's totally fine. They say it takes a village, and we have a great village here at Jackson. So it's gone great every year. So let's keep that going and make sure we're where we need to be at the time we need to be. I want to make this a great experience for the players, for the parents, and everyone. But in that it's not only a vacation. We're there to win baseball games as well. So we'll make sure we're rested. And when we get back, when we get back, you might have a busy weekend with the holidays and things like that. But we have league games starting, the very next day, so we got to make sure we're ready for that. Our ultimate goal is to win the FAC again. But I appreciate you all, and if you have any questions throughout the week, I'll post a lot of information just to alleviate concerns. But if you have any questions, feel free to text me anytime. We'll get those answered. If you have any questions about your son or anything like that, I know it can be kind of mentally stressful for parents. It is for me as a coach, but we're here to help each other out, and I appreciate y'all very much. Thanks.